Okay, so today we are going to have a look at the Boeing 727 Super from Flight Sim Studios in Flight Simulator 2024. So this aircraft came out a few days ago now, but this is my first real opportunity to have a proper look at it. And we're going to fly it from Providence, Rhode Island, over to Pittsburgh. Should be interesting, and it should actually be hard work because this aircraft had a crew of 3 people and there's only me, so it may take me a while to get the airplane ready, but I am going to be aided by working through a functional procedure that I have written and updated and revised for this aircraft, because this is the 727 Super and it has a number of advancements in the cockpit over earlier versions of the 727. So we'll be looking through that and looking at how to program the airplane along the way. So let's go and have a look at how I'm going to do this. So I have a document, as I mentioned. There's a link in the notes of the video to get a copy of it. And it goes through everything you need to do in terms of configuring the aircraft. And look, there's 14 pages of it. I told you it was quite involved. It goes on, and I'm going to be taking the shortcut route of using SimBrief. So imagine how long this would get if this document covered programming the new FMC by hand. I say new, it's a museum piece FMC. We've got the details here for it. It's called the GNS XLS. And it was, fitted onto the 727 Super as an optional extra, and it's optional within the aircraft, so you can do away with it. Also, it has some fancy glass cockpit features as well in terms of the attitude indicator and things like that, so we'll see those as well. Okay, so we need this browser ready. We've got a SimBrief flight plan we're going to be using, which will take us over from Providence over towards Pittsburgh. Let's go and check the volumes before we get going. They're looking good. Okay, so jump inside the airplane. And if you've seen the 727 previously, this is going to look mightily different because it has glass elements, it has a brand new FMC, and it has an optional map, a GPS map display as well. So these were the latest gizmos when they came out, and obviously they were retrofitted onto the aircraft. So I'm going to work through the functional procedure with you, and I'll try to explain what I'm doing along the way. So it should be fairly straightforward. First thing we're going to do is open the clipboard that is down at the side of the pilot's legs. And we're going to go and look in the aircraft tab. We're going to remove the cones, remove the chocks. Everything else is probably fine. And then in the SimBrief, in the pre-flight section, if we have SimBrief, which we do, I've already put my username into the text box at the top, and then I can just pull the flight plan down and it will confirm it there. And that gives us the loadout for the aircraft. So I think we can accelerate that. So yeah, I think it happens instantly, to be honest. Then we can go to the takeoff section and we can go and fill in where we're taking off from. So we are taking off from KPVD runway 23. KPVD runway 23. Okay, so it's telling us flaps 15 and it gives us all of our numbers. Now, if you watch this very carefully, when I click on set speeds, you'll see all the markers move. And if we set EPR and trim, you won't see it just yet. We'll come back to here and do this again later on. But there's lots of stuff in the clipboard to do with calculators and things like that. Lots of options that you can play around with the fit out of the aeroplane. So you can see obviously the starring thing here is the new flight management computer. Okay, it's taken me a couple of evenings of only getting like half an hour here and there to actually get a chance to sit with this aeroplane and now to go and do a flight. And just to aid on top of the workload, we're going to be using Say Intentions as well. So we'll be talking to ATC. Okay, so there is a mobile phone in the cockpit as well. So if we click the binder to put it away and then click the mobile phone, you do get some automated engineer things going on behind you. So we can see down here the things that the engineer can do for us. and we're going to let them automatically monitor those things for us. Okay, first things first then, Shift and 8 brings us over to the rear panel of the aircraft, and we're going to go over to the battery switch, turn it on and cover it up. And then we're going to press Shift and 5 to go back over to the overhead the pilots. We're going to go and make sure that the nav light is on, and it is. And then do the no smoking and the seatbelt signs overhead. And we're going to go back over to the rear of the cockpit. And we're going to go and look down here and turn on the auxiliary power unit. So you'll hear that whine in the background and you can see the temperature coming up. We just wait for it to stabilize. And when it has stabilized, we can go a little bit ahead of time here. We can go and say we want essential power to come from the APU, which it already is. And this is now stable. So then we can close the loop on the generator, or close the circuit, and that gives us power to the aeroplane. So this is obviously the APU route to powering the plane up, not the external power route, which it does support as well. So Shift and 5 takes us back above the pilots. We're going to go and arm the emergency lights. You can hit the switch as well if you're really careful. And then we're going to go down to this magical new computer and power it up. Now I have gone and set up a keyboard shortcut to bring us down here. So you may wish to do the same, it's up to you. So we'll press the on button on it and it will power up. And it goes through a self-test sequence and then fires up. It's a shame they hadn't made more of a pixelated display. I can't imagine it was a vector display on it, but you never know. So we're just waiting for this to come up. It is important if you're using SimBrief that you have filed the SimBrief flight plan before you get in the aeroplane, otherwise it won't see it. So it confirms where we're taking off from. Just press enter and you can see there is a flight plan available to choose. So you press the button. You can have multiple flight plans. So if I press that again, I can make a new flight plan by hand. So this is how you can press this button and go all the way down. You can only go as far as the next one. And this is a little bit bizarre in the way this works, is that they haven't got a button per row. They've got a button for every 2 rows, and you press it to cycle between the 2 rows the button is adjacent to. So we highlight row number 1, which is from KPVD to KPIT, and press enter. And it's confirming the flight plan, and we can go next to see more of it. So we say select and it puts a question mark on and we press enter. And that loads the flight plan. Okay, so then we can set our departure from KPVD. Do we have a departure? I don't believe we do. So notice there, look, it's showing both rows. We want to select depart. Press enter. And then we can come down here and say we want to actually choose the runway, don't we? So no SIDs available. So there is nothing to set up. But that's interesting that we can't even set the runway up, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll come back out of there then. Go to nav. And we might want to go and set up the... So let's select that again. Enter. We might want to set up the arrival and the approach though. So let's have a look at SimBrief. And we're coming via, we've got a star here, look, Hain Z7 into runway 32 KPIT. So if we go and double check this in Navigraph, although this is saying, that says runway 32, yeah. Almost confused myself then. So runway 32, ILS runway 32. And what would make sense to us? We're going to combine all of our toys here to get a good idea of what it looks like. So there's our route coming in. Runway 32 is there. The copy is the route we're coming in, which we can see there. So if we were to do that, that would go to there, that one goes to there, and that one goes just from final. So it's that one we want, add to route. So we don't want anything clever, and there'll be a gap to close up, I guess, in the flight plan. We'll probably be manual by the time we get there anyway, though. Okay. So we'll say we are going to choose an arrival and an approach. So standard terminal arrival route, so we'll press enter on arrival, and we can choose which one we want. So we're coming in SLT Hain 27. And that hasn't got one on here, I don't think. Oh, there it is. It's just highlighted in a different colour because it's very, very basic. So SLT, press enter, and Hain 27 is the only option that's sensible. So we can say Hain 27 and press enter. Yeah, it's already chosen it, look, because there was only one. Okay. So if we go back to nav, we can see the summary. If we look at flight plan, we can see that. There is VNav as well. We're not going to play with that. So we'll just leave that there. So let's go and turn on the other system as well then. So this is the mapping screen. I've not used these in anger myself yet, so our results may be varied. So we'll say map, and we'll confirm the barrow. And if we zoom out, we will see our route. You can zoom back in again, and there are various tricks you can use for panning. It's all very basic. It uses the outside buttons all the time. Anyway, so what does info do? Let's have a look at info as well. Doesn't do anything. So we've got the basic route into the FMC. It's a bit painful, but I'm sure with practice would make perfect with it. So Shift and 8 brings us back over to the back of the cockpit. Let's go and turn on all of the radio master switches. As I said, the normal crew would be 3 people, so this is going to be quite slow going for me to get everything done. Let's go and put the galley power on, so the cabin crew can do things. Pressurization control panel. So what flight level are we flying at today? 36,000 feet. So we can look here, and you can set your cruising flight level, and I'm trying to remember how it works. So flight altitude, here we go, 36,000, and you can then set the rate at which it will change. We'll turn that up as high as it will go, otherwise you can get problems. Well, I'm probably going to inflate the entire fuselage now. Okay, we turn the Gasper fans on, and then the oil cooler CSD, which I think is way down here, needs to be on norm, and it is. Then back overhead the pilots, we're going to go and do the window heats. So there's 2 switches there, and then we've got the 2 switches at the bottom, and then the probe heaters are down at the bottom right. They're here. Turn the probe heats on, and then Shift and 2 will bring us down to the primary displays. Do the barometric pressure, so we'll press comma to set it to local barometric pressure, and we'll uncage the backup attitude indicator. We can also set target airspeed by moving this roller around for our rotate speed. It defaults to about 130, I think. So, to get all of this new kit switched on, we have to scoot out of our seat, come behind, and turn on the master power behind us. Then when we come back, you'll see this is booting up slowly. It's showing a test screen with everything lit up, and that will slowly change, and there it goes. So then we need to set our initial climb altitude. We're going to fly straight out to 36,000 feet. Or we'll try to. Actually, saying that, we haven't got clearance, have we? So should we go and do that now? We've got the radios working. So let's go over to say intentions. Go to clearance. We are TWA 073 today. Clearance TWA 073, requesting clearance as filed to Pittsburgh.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Let's pop this open so we can read it back easily. I haven't got a pen in my hand. Otherwise we'd write it down and repeat it back.
TWA 073 cleared to Pittsburgh. Radar vectors Putnam. Then as filed. Climb and maintain 4000. Expect flight level 36010 minutes after departure. Departure on 123.675, squawk 1321. Expect runway 23.
Cleared to Pittsburgh, radar vectors Putnam, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4000. Expect flight level 360, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 123.675. Squawk 1321. Expect runway 23. TWA 073.
TWA 073, read back correct.
Okay, so we've got all the time in the world now to go through this. So we want 4,000 feet on our initial climb. So let's go and set that down here on the altitude pre-selector. Then we want to go and set departure 123. That we'll do that in a moment. Squawk 1321. So the transponder is down here.
Departing from Providence to Pittsburgh.
1,
Please take your seats
3,
to your boarding passes and store
2.
your hand luggage in the overhead bins.
Now I might go and turn
of you.
off
If you require any
the cabin crew.
do not hesitate to contact
We're going to get some
any member of
doubling
the
up
crew.
because at some point the 727 Super has its own cabin crew, which is going to be talking at the same time otherwise. So 1321. I think we're good to go with that. We'll be going to ground next, but we don't need to worry about any of that for the moment. So we've set our initial target altitude. We've turned on the multifunction display. So then shift and 6. Nav radios are good. We're going to be using GPS. Oh, that's a good point actually. We need to make sure that this switch here is set to GPS for the guidance.
Providence clearance delivery, Sterling's 1 quest.
So while we're doing the rest of this, I'll just put us back on radio check so we don't have to listen to other people. Okay, so we're going to prepare to start the engines. So shift and 5 brings us overhead, and we go and turn the beacon light on. And then shift and 8 takes us back to the engineer section. And we're looking at the lower panel, and we're going to go and turn on the fuel pumps. So we're going to put the aft fuel pump on for engine number 1, for tank number 1. Tank number 2, we're going to put one of the fuel pumps on, doesn't matter which, we'll use the aft one again. And then, or there isn't fore and aft really, is it? It's just one of them. And then the aft fuel pump for engine number 2. I think that's engine number 3 in the middle, is it? No, number 2. The tanks are not named, I think, in terms of the engines, but anyway. So check the shutoffs are open. They should be. So the up is open. They're all good. So pressurization panel is up here. Engine bleed air. So check that they are all open. That's the APU bleed, and then you've got the engine 3 bleed over there. So that's all good. So we're going to get to starting the engines. So this is where we do pushback, if we're going to do pushback. So let's go and have a look outside. Yeah, we need pushback. So we're going to go over to ground now. Ground, TWA 073, request pushback and engine start. Did they hear us? Ah, it just didn't play it. Pushback and engine start approved, tail southwest. So let's have a look on the diagram of the airport. Southwest is that way, so we need to just go straight out the way we're going, which is fine. So Alt and P will bring out the tractor. I'll remove the parking brakes. We get to watch. There is a static aeroplane in this airport for some reason, and obviously it's conflicting with, say, intentions. I don't know why that some of the airplanes bother with static airplanes, but there you go. You know, it's not
American
one of the ones.
5643. Contact tower on 120.7. Take care.
So it's come off the parking brake. Is it going to push us? Had this happen earlier. I think it's a bug in the aeroplane. There we go. Yeah, it's doing it again, look. Resume. I don't know what causes it.
Cabin crew, all doors in flight and cross-check. Welcome aboard on
Okay,
behalf of Transport
that is the
Airlines
only pushback
Captain
they're going to do by the look
and
of it.
the
Is he
crew
going to
on this
release
flight
and
to
drive away
Pittsburgh.
now?
My name is Laura, and I
Which
am
is
your
just
lead
enough for us to pull away.
Joining me today are my colleagues Pierre, Sophie, and Mark. We expect our flight time
Yeah,
to be
he's left us,
approximately
look.
1 hour and 10 minutes. Now,
The shortest
for your
pushback
safety,
in history.
Please pay attention to the following important information. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal.
Okay, so we can go ahead and do engine start.
To release, lift the buckle.
So to do that,
Recommend that you keep your seatbelt
if I
fastened
press shift
while
and
seated,
space,
as
can we
turbulence
get
can
to it
occur
from here?
unexpectedly.
I want to get to a place where we can see it both easily. So there's 3 switches above us. We're going to go over engine number 3 first and switch it to ground, which is downwards. As soon as you do that, you will see the N2 coming up. This is the gas turbine speed. When it gets to 20%, we can advance the fuel control lever.
To use, pull the vest out, slip it over your head, and pull the straps to tighten.
There comes engine
Inflate
number
the
3.
vest by pulling the red tabs or by blowing into the tubes. In the unlikely event of an evacuation, please leave all luggage on board. This aircraft has exits located at the front, middle, and rear.
So we just watch the dials. You'll see the exhaust gas temperatures rising. N1's coming up as well. And the fuel flow is creeping up.
We will be coming around shortly to offer you refreshments. Captain, the cabin is ready for departure.
So you can actually start engine number 3, which is the tail engine, when you're at the gate. You don't have to wait with this aeroplane, but we're just doing it to keep it simple. So here we go. This is the actual cabin crew of the aeroplane itself. So once engine number 3 is going, engine number 2. You do have to keep that open then. So waiting for N2.
Please take a few minutes to find the nearest exit. In some cases, the nearest exit may be behind you. If you need to evacuate the aircraft, ground level lighting will
Okay,
guide
just
you
coming
to
up
the
to
exit.
20%. Advance the fuel control lever.
Insert the metal part into the buckle, which can be adjusted through the end of the belt.
Fuel flow is coming up. Exhaust gas temperatures rising.
In the event of a sudden loss of cabin pressure.
Shall we listen from outside? Look at the APU exhaust port pumping hot air up the side of the fuselage over there.
You are traveling with a child or a person who needs assistance.
Okay, let's have a look overhead. Is that one done? Yes, that one's done as well.
The life jacket is located under the seat.
And engine number 1.
In the unlikely event of landing in water, remove the life jacket and put it on your head. Then wrap the straps around your waist and adjust them at the front. To inflate the life jacket, pull the red string firmly.
Coming up to
To inflate the life jacket,
20%.
Before takeoff, familiarize yourself
Number
with
one.
the safety guides. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold down
So while we're
the
waiting for that, should we go and have a little look at the map?
safety and comfort. We recommend
So we're doing an immediate right turn and then going out towards the Putnam VOR 11740. Shall we go and tune that in just for peace of mind?
the announcement after landing. We remind you that smoking is strictly prohibited on board and that there are smoke detectors in the toilets. If you have any questions, do not
Okay, that's
hesitate to
tuned in.
contact one of our crew members. We wish you all
So if we did want to switch over to nav mode, we could use it. That's all I'm thinking. Just so you know where the buttons are for all this stuff. So these screens have got buttons over here, look, which does range, and I'm not sure where we set course. But we can hear obviously the sounds from the radio, which is great. I'm going to detune it slightly. You can see that you've got distance measuring equipment there as well on Nav 1, or DME 1 I should say. And that's pointing towards it on the... oh no, that's the ADF. So let's just try this before we get going. If I put this on Nav mode, do we get arrows? ADF, what, this is showing ADF, okay.
Helicopter 3 Tango, correction. Providence ground, helicopter 3 Tango Papa.
HSI mode, here we go.
Providence ground, helicopter 3 Tango Papa. Lefty, northeast, transient ramp, like the taxi, runway 23, please.
There we go, it's working, look.
Providence ground, helicopter 723 Tango Papa.
Okay.
Tango Papa, Providence ground, go ahead.
I always get distracted playing with new things to figure out how they work. So we've started the engines, and I'm going to scroll past that part of my instructions. So we're going to the post-engine start procedures. I'm going to go and look at the generators next. So generators are over here. So what you need to do is switch this over to Gen 1, and you can see the frequencies near the middle. You can adjust that to get it into the middle, and then you can close the circuit on the generator, and then do the same for the other two. So generator 2 is flashing, so you bring the needle into the middle. So we're looking at this needle here, and then close the circuit on that one. And then generator number 3 is flashing, and we'll roll it the other way to bring this into the middle, and then close the circuit. And we've got the generators online. So then once we've got the generators online, we can change the essential power away from the APU, and we'll put it on generator number 3. You heard a relay clunk there. Pressurization panel. So back over at the top right, we're going to go and put engine 2 air bleed to closed to down. So that's the left one. The APU bleed down to closed. And the right AC pack to on and the left AC pack to on. Okay, so auxiliary power unit, rear wall at the bottom. So we're going to go and turn the APU off now, because obviously we switched back over to using the generators rather than the APU. So this can go off now. And then we can go to the hydraulic pumps, which were back over here. And I have to try and remember what all these things are. They're down here. So hydraulic system A is already on, so we just need to turn on hydraulic system B. So back in the cockpit, we're going to go and open that clipboard again and look at the takeoff section.
Providence ground. Piper November 6318 Romeo.
And if you remember earlier about setting the
ground,
trim, we're just
clear it.
confirming takeoff trim 3.25. So I just pressed it. So this should
Providence ground.
be somewhere in the region. So 3.3.5-ish is enough, isn't it? So you can see it there. So 1, 2, 3 and a bit. So let's give it a bit more. Flaps need to be 15 degrees. So if we go and look outside, you'll see that happening. So the flaps are extending. Okay, so we are ready to taxi. So all we need to do, let's go and put the clipboard away, we don't need it. Taxi lights on. And we were taking off from runway 23, weren't we? So ground. We're going to tune back into the ground frequency. Ground TWA 073 requesting taxi to runway 23. How bad is my memory? So let's go and have a look at the chart of the airport.
TWA 073, runway 23, taxi via Tango, hold short of runway 16, then November Mike Alpha.
November Mike Alpha, okay. Taxi Tango, hold short runway 16, then November Mike Alpha for runway 23, TWA 073. So, oh, there's somebody pulling out in front of us, we'll have to wait for them. So come off the parking brake. I'm going to start turning gently.
Roger, pushback approved. Piedmont 6017.
So let's go and set up head tracking while we're here. So this is Tango, as far as I'm aware. That's Victor, the other side of the line. So we go to Tango until we get to runway 16. Let's have a look from outside. Does look the part, doesn't it?
Southwest 2461, request push and start clearance.
Cleared, push and start.
Pushback approved, Southwest 2461.
So we do the right turn here. Ground TWA 073 requesting clearance to cross runway 16. We need to go and put the
TWA 073, cleared to cross runway 16.
Cleared to cross runway 16 TWA 073. So we need to go and put the anti-lock, also anti-skid on. We also need to go and do oh wait, so I'm not trying to do too many things at once. There we go, rejected takeoff on the auto brakes.
Southwest 2461, ready to taxi.
Southwest 2461, runway 23, taxi via Tango, hold short of runway 16, then November Mike Alpha.
Runway 23, taxi via Tango, hold short of runway 16, then November Mike Alpha Southwest 2461.
November, so there's somebody else behind us, probably the other plane that pulled out. He's just started his engines up as well, look, so should have a look behind us. Be him, won't it?
Theodore Francis Green, ground, Honda 652, November Foxtrot, picking up my smart clearance to LaGuardia, direct Butman, 34,000 feet. Information, Bravo.
I am working on that clearance. Stand by.
Clear to LaGuardia, radar vector Putnam, then the fog time, maintain 4,000, expect flight level 340, 10 minutes after departure on 123.675, squawk 1455, we'll expect runway 23, as filed, Honda 652, November Foxtrot.
Okay, let's go and talk to tower.
2073, cross runway 16.
Tower TWA 073, holding short to runway 23.
TWA 073, Providence Tower, runway 23, winds 290 at 8. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 23, TWA 073. So we're going to line up and then we get our last few bits and pieces done and then we'll be on our way. So as soon as we come out onto the runway we can go and put the strobes on and the landing lights.
Southwest 2461, hold short of runway 16.
16, holding short, Southwest 2461.
Okay. So we did the transponder code, we've done taxi lights, we've done... we need to go and do the pressurization mode. So shift and let me turn the head tracking off for a moment, shift and 8. This should have been done earlier. I can never remember where this stuff is. There it goes. That goes to flight. So we're lined up. We've done anti-skid. We've done auto brakes. We've done the strobes. We've done the landing lights. Transponder mode.
Contact departure on 123.675.
Goes to
123,
TA only.
675, Patriot 1.
Is it going to let me? No, it isn't. Maybe it doesn't have...
American 419, welcome to Providence. Contact ground
Yeah,
on
they haven't
121.9.
implemented TCAS by the look of it, which is a bit of a shame. Oh well.
Southwest 2461, hold short of runway 16.
16,
Okay,
holding
so
short,
we're ready to go.
Southwest 2461.
Let's just get the guidance sorted out so we understand what we're looking at. So this is showing GPS navigation, isn't it, on here, but it's not agreeing. So let's go and change this. HSI mode. That's showing the route and it's showing the direction we're pointing, which is probably quite a good thing to do.
Baron 1 Hotel Echo, hold short of runway 23.
Baron 1 Hotel Echo.
Southwest 2461, hold short of runway 16.
16,
There we
holding
go.
short, Southwest
So that's
2461.
showing GPS and then showing arc mode as well. So can we show range on here as well? So
Sierra 4 Sierra X-ray, winds 290 at 8, runway 34,
okay,
cleared to
that's
land.
setting decision height. If you pull it, you can set the range.
Cleared to land, 34 Sierra
So we'll
4
set it
Sierra
10
X-ray.
miles for the moment.
Baron 1 Hotel Echo, hold short of runway 23.
Baron 1 Hotel Echo.
Just trimming us out. 15-degree climb out. Should we have a look from outside? Came off the ground quickly, didn't it? So what was the instruction they gave
TWA
us?
073, contact departure.
Baron 1 Hotel Echo cross runway 23.
So we need to cross contact departure. That just changed as I clicked on that. So we haven't got departure. There's departure. Departure TWA 073, departing en route to Pittsburgh.
TWA 073, Providence departure, negative radar contact. Please verify your squawking 1321 and your transponder is set to mode C.
See, this is the problem because there's only one of me. Oh, we didn't turn it on. I'll have to revise my instructions and include that.
TWA 073, Providence departure, radar contact 4 southwest of Providence at 3900 feet. Warwick altimeter 3021. Climb and maintain flight level 350, turn right, heading 340. Vectors to Putnam. Then as filed.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, turning for Putnam, TWA 073. So we can climb straight up then. We actually can. So we'll use the autopilot in a moment. I just want to have a go at flying it for a bit. So we'll just cross our route here. Doing just over 200 knots. Let's open the engines up a little bit then and begin our climb. And we'll have a play with the autopilot while we're here as well. So, that's nav mode and climb mode. It's now going to take over. Let's give it some more power then. So I'm presuming this is going to use target airspeed somehow. We can use vertical speed as well. I haven't programmed VNAV, remember. So can we just use speed mode? Yes, we can.
Piper Hotel Victor Bravo, Providence approach, cleared to enter Class Charlie airspace for landing at Providence. Report when established in the air for flight following.
So I'm just raising the flaps.
Providence approach, Piper Romeo Juliet Hotel Victor Bravo, unable to contact clearance delivery on 12665 Hotel Victor Bravo.
So let's see how well this does at guiding. It's coming back in, look, towards the Putnam VOR. Because I set it out on that heading. We've got it in nav mode, so it should capture the GPS course. So speed mode will hold the speed at which point you engage it, I think. So we can move this bug around as well. So if we went to climb mode, then I think we get to play with the roller here to set the climb rate. Yes, look, it's controlling pitch, which will allow us to accelerate. Come up to 12,000 feet.
Now reached a safe altitude, and you are welcome to use your electronic devices. Please ensure they
So what are we doing on the RPM? I don't want to overdo it on the engines, because we could push it, look, right up to the needles on the end. That's interesting. That okay, I think what I've done, I'm just looking at the RPMs across the board. Let's have a look at the throttle levers. So we're above 10,000 feet, so we can come through 250 knots. The landing lights can come off, the taxi lights can come off. I'm wondering why we're getting an E marker. We've got the flaps are in. I'll have to read the book and see what the E means. It's gone out now, so who knows? So the aeroplane is tracking.
Tango Whiskey, contact Providence Tower on 120.7.
So we're coming up to 18,000 feet, so we're going to go to standard barometric pressure now.
1207.
So Barrow needs to go to 2992, doesn't it?
Blue Streak 5619, verify your squawking 4466, mode Charlie.
Now, presumably, this isn't going to be across the... No, I have to do both, look. We're looking good. So it's tracking GPS. The distance measuring equipment is working independently of the GPS by the look of it. So it's tracking the Putnam VOR. We'll see what happens. Let's have a look on the map. So next we're off to, what's the name of this VOR? Chester. 11510. So should we put that onto the second radio? 11510. Let's double check the frequency. What's the range on it? 40 miles. Oh, that's why. So if we put range rings on the map for 40 miles, then we got an idea of when we'll pick up that VOR. The E is appearing again. I wonder what it means. We're climbing really quickly. 24,000 feet already.
February 073, climb and maintain flight level 360.
TWA 073, climbing flight level 360. Oh, that was why the climb mode didn't happen. Let's try it now. Yeah, it's going maximum climb look to get there. And it's setting to it's using the speed bug as the target by the look of it.
WA 073, contact Boston Center on 133.425.
Contacting Boston Center 133.425, TWA 073. Boston Center, TWA 073 with you, climbing to flight level 360.
TWA 073, Boston Center, good afternoon.
Yeah, so someone's come in with a comment. Again, I haven't read the book on the autopilot yet, so this works similar to Alt Select on the old avionics kit. So you have to have Alt enabled in order for it to capture the target altitude. I'm still not entirely sure how you set your target airspeed for climb.
Flight level 180.
JetBlue 507, radar contact.
It's very cool how this all works though. Look, yeah, Alt Select comes up there even though it doesn't say it on the button. The old button used to say Alt Select. I think you can click these as well. Yeah, you can. Should we go and change the mode on the co-pilot's nav screen? And we had to pull this out to do the range, didn't we? So there we go. So just coming up to 36,000 feet, so obviously the plane's going to start accelerating. It's doing altitude hold now. Still tracking lateral navigation. Very cool. So watch the speed creep up. I wonder what the reasoning was with this moving what it's drawing instead of redrawing the ribbon. So we're running the engines just above 90%. There's something weird going on here with the N1 on the middle engine. What have I done? Oh, it does have an auto throttle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached cruising altitude. We will begin our snack and drink service shortly. Today, we have some delightful options, including our savory cheese platter and refreshing fruit salad.
Okay, I need to read the book on that.
Service, we will also
Unless it
have
just says that on the
transport
levers,
airline
because it's
slots
FADEC
available for
in
purchase. Thank you for
a
your
sense, isn't it? It's all rather mysterious. So is it that temperature on that middle engine that's doing that? Let's bring that out of the red. Just easing the RPM out of the red to see if this will go away. I think that's what that might be related to. See, now the flight engineer was supposed to be looking after all this stuff for us. That's all looking fine. So, yeah, I'm just reading the flight. The live stream comments there. I suspect the speed mode is to do with it will use pitch to control the speed. So let's see what happens if we can test it. So we're up near the fastest we're allowed to go. Let's press speed and see if the throttles move. I suspect they won't. No, look, it's climbing. It's gone beyond, yeah, we're turning that off because it's doing what I thought it might. Whoops, we don't want air show assist. We need altitude hold. We needed to descend now actually. So descend and alt to bring it back down. So it did what I thought it transferred holding the speed to use pitch to control it, which made us leap higher than we wanted to be. But that's how we find these things out, so don't worry. That's a shame it doesn't have TCAS, isn't it? So, heading in towards
Center, Delta 972, flight level 350.
White Birch is the next VOR.
Delta
What's the range on that
radar
one?
contact.
Oh, Hancock, sorry. 11680, and yeah, we should be able to pick that up straight away then. And it's going to be counting down from 93 miles. So we're on Boston Center at the moment. We can get charts in the clipboard. We go to the back so we can have a look at where we're going. So in a few minutes time, K-Pit we're heading for.
Boston Center, Mach 764, flight level 350.
And we're going to be doing the Hain
764, radar contact.
Z7, which is that one.
Brickyard 4654, contact Boston approach on 118.25.
There we go.
118.25, Brickyard 4654.
It's a bit of a shame the way they've implemented
flight level
this.
330.
That they've made it. Oh, okay, I suppose that, yes, there we go. Oh, that's better. So there's our route in. So there's the airfield. We're going to come down here. But remember, we're coming in on that little runway there. I say little. It's not really. So we can do the same again, I guess, to have several things available to us in the cockpit. So we can look on approaches and look on ILS runway 32, wasn't it? Does the scroll bar work?
United 8590 Heavy requesting altimeter for Boston. Boston altimeter 330.
Oh, we can just drag it, okay. ILS runway
United
32.
8590 Heavy, Boston altimeter 30.09er.
So that's where we'll come in via, we'll come in over Weiler, I imagine, but then at least we've got the frequencies ready for later on. Are we back at 36,000? We are. So this works the same as the 737 in that we can, yeah, my controls won't have it though, look. The landing switch has a middle position. The idea being you can switch it to off while you're in flight, which saves pressurizing all the seals. Oh, I can do it. I can just have to be really careful about how I do it. While we're flying, I'm going to have a look and see what this E is all about. It may just be a warning that we have to cancel. Actually, I wonder. If it was a pressurization failure, you'd hear a klaxon, but you'd press that to get rid of it. It's not going to be that, is it? No. I'm going to ask the mighty Google Gemini. So we are looking at this autopilot is called, let me get it right, the GNS XLS, and this is the EFIS system, isn't it? In the 727-200 Super. What does a flashing E mean on the EFIS display? Let's see what Gemini tells us. An encoding altimeter failure or data corruption related to the altitude reporting system.
Guys, 2274 departing 9000 for 2270.
United 2274, roger, descend and maintain 2500.
250 for United 2274.
So it generally means a
United 2274, contact New York approach on 125.7.
a component failure. Interesting. So does this simulate failures? We don't have to have this, by the way. We can switch back to using stock instruments. It's stopped flashing. Look. Oh no, it's back on again.
TWA 073 Boston Center, expect the Haynes 7 arrival. I'll have you descending in about 20 minutes. Feel free to ask if you'd like it sooner.
Expecting the Haynes 7 arrival. TWA 073, we'll call you later.
TWA 073 affirmative, expect the Haynes 7 arrival into Pittsburgh.
So Kerblet is saying, are we using VATSIM or say intentions? This is say intentions. Should we try some of the cockpit lighting out? I haven't tried that yet. So, got the map lights, front forward panel, backward panel. If we turn them on to 50% each, let's see what it looks like. Compass light. Oh, it's quite good, isn't it? It's quite subtle. We can do the same across the board for the co-pilot as well. Oh, that's lighting override. That turned it up to maximum in one go. That's handy to know about. And then turn all the side panel lights on as well. And the dome red light. Do we get dome red on this side as well? No. Interesting. So the co-pilot, see, look all there's the light, the red light up there. It's cool, isn't it? So we're getting an altitude mismatch somehow. I wonder, it's this, isn't it? No. It wasn't that. I thought it might have been, because that was asking for Barrow earlier.
First Officer Amanda, would you like anything to drink or a small snack? And yes, I didn't mix the milk with Jet A1.
Cirrus 168 Delta Juliet, Boston Center, roger.
So that was the cabin crew asking if we would like a drink.
Delta Juliet, can you give me current temperature?
Shall I ask the co-pilot?
Cirrus 8 Delta
Hi
Juliet,
Amanda, would you like a coffee?
299
We've got Amanda with us, by the way.
No thanks, Jonathan. Just let me know if you need anything related to the flight.
Hi cabin crew. So Amanda doesn't want a drink, but I'll have one please. Coffee please.
Understood, Captain. I will bring you a coffee shortly.
It's funny, isn't it? So it's gone out again, look, it's data failures of some description. I'll have to have a read in the book about it. There may be something I haven't configured properly. Just wondering what it might be.
Boston Center, United 2138, flight level 330. United 2138, radar contact.
Let's have a look around. Vertical gyro is norm. Compass is slaved. It's just heating. There's nothing obvious here. What about in the Engineer station. Oxygen systems on normal, galley power is on, DC's working fine. We don't need external power obviously. We're using Gen 3 from the engines for essential power. We've got the cabin pressurization system working and no alarms from it, that's all fine. The assistant engineer has been looking after a lot of this stuff for us. The hydraulic systems are all fine. Fuel temp is good. Does the calculator work? Oh, that's a shame. That would have been funny, wouldn't it? So there's all these lookup tables to do with performance data that you can use.
Allegiant 414, contact Boston Center on 133.25.
Should we go and have a wander around the aeroplane?
414. Cessna 7 Charlie Lima, climb and maintain flight level 420.
Climb and maintain flight level 420 for Charlie Lima.
We'll start descending. Let's go and I don't think I've got a 727 profile. No, but I've got a 737. That will do. So yeah, shortly before the, now what's the name of this one? The Slate Run VOR station. So when we get to Conji, we'll start descending. What was that noise? Oh, we've lost power. We've lost everything. I didn't touch anything, did I? So this is slightly alarming. So let's just press... Oh, we can't pause it and look, can we? Can we press pause in the cockpit? Yes, we can. So we can at least figure out what's going on. The generators have packed up. Now, why have the generators packed up? The engines have all died. Did we run? We haven't run out of fuel, have we? I thought we filled the aircraft up with fuel. Fuel flow is obviously showing nothing. Cause a sudden... I mean, there's an easy way to check the fuel levels if we can't see it on a gauge anywhere, is to go in here and look at flight performance, mass and gravity, fuel. We've run out of fuel. It didn't fill itself up with fuel on the ground. So we're going to put some in. I wonder if we can do this while we're paused before it overspeeds and rips itself to pieces. So we're going to do an air start. No, we're not going to have enough time, are we? Let's try it.
Boston Center, Envoy 4240, flight level 300.
Envoy 4240, radar contact.
Boston Center, UPS 5136, flight level 350.
Speed's coming up.
UPS 5136, radar contact. Cessna 5 Mike. Contact New York Center on 118.9 or 75.
We have power back. And we have the engines restarting themselves, and I'm trimming like crazy. Our problem now is we're stalling because we run out of airspeed. The airspeed's coming up slowly. Is the autopilot still on? Yeah, it's fighting us, that's why. Okay. There we go, getting it back under control. We had an unintended detour. Okay, let's climb back up to 36,000 feet. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? So let's turn gently back towards our course. Thankfully, we have all of the instruments in the world to help us do this. We've lost the flight management system, but we've got the GPS still, bizarrely. If we fire it back up, I wonder if it's got any memory of the route. Okay, so I need to look at the procedure around filling the fuel up, because obviously it didn't happen from SimBrief. We thought it might be instant, and there was no... When we were looking at the clipboard, there was no indication of it doing it. That's the GSX stuff, I would imagine. Yeah, that's interesting.
Center TDM, Punches Radar, Juliet, request the RNAV 19 approach.
TBM 09er Juliet,
so we're coming back up to 36,000 feet. Just hand flying at the moment.
125, 09er Juliet.
Have a look on the map. We're coming back towards this waypoint. So we need to go and reduce the range so we get a good idea of where we are. That will do.
TWA 073, PIREP EP from about 4 or 5 minutes ago indicates occasional light chop at flight level 340.
Yeah, we've got bigger fish to fly, I'm afraid. Copy the weather report, TWA 073. We won't tell him about our near disaster we've just experienced. But at least we recovered, hey.
134.45 for Brickyard 4509.
The warning was coming back again then. I wonder if it's to do with airspeed. That's interesting. I think it's to do with this. Nope. So we're nearly back to altitude. So let's go and put this back on. Nav mode's already on. Alt's on. Climb mode. Oh, we need to go and put the autopilot on, don't we? Oh, descend mode now. We've already gone through 36. Descend. There we go. To the target altitude. And let's come off the throttles because we're going too fast. And we're back in. Let's see if the flight director is going to tell us to turn right, which will confirm that it's picked up the next leg okay. There it goes.
United Tree 24 Boston Center, roger.
Oh, that's enough panic for one day, hey? So all caused by not understanding where you can read the fuel level of the aircraft, or not checking it more accurately. So there's the fuel flow gauges. This has lost the rest of the route now, hasn't it? That's where the star appears from. No, it starts from SLT. So we want to go and do the arrival. Enter. SLT Haynes Z7. SLT was down there. Enter. Haynes Z7. Enter. Oh, we have to select that, I guess. So it's wiped out this, and it's not allowing us to reprogram it while we're in flight.
Turbine Duke 157 Juliet Tango, Boston Center, contact New York Center on 132.175.
So when this wiped its head, all it's going to do is direct to Conji.
157 Juliet Tango.
So we may have to fly it ourselves.
New York Center, Southwest 4607, flight level 370. Southwest 4607, radar contact.
New York Center, Brickyard 3656, flight level 310.
Brickyard 3656, radar contact.
What we can do
073, contact New York Center on 134.45.
is let's put, if we can't get a GPS back up and running properly, unless we can program extras in. Flight plan. Enter. Conji SLT. Select. Enter. Why is that not allowing us to confirm it?
Brickyard 3656, contact Boston Center on 127.375.
127.375 for Brickyard 3656, good day.
Wondering why It's the most unintuitive system ever. I think it only works when you're on the ground. In order to initialize the route, you can't do it while you're in the air by the look of it. So we'll have to go back to old-fashioned methods, which is fine. So we're going to go to SLT 11390. So we're going to change the navigation mode. We're going to give up on the. So we want. Yeah, Rose mode's fine. Course, ADF. ADF2, nav1, there we go. So we're going to need to learn in a hurry how we can change the course. Where is the course controller? Push for decision height, pull for range. They're over here. Okay, we're finding them.
TWA 073, contact New York Center on 133.35.
Contacting New York Center 133.35, TWA 073. New York Center, TWA 073 with you, flight level 360. So we need to start descending fairly soon, don't we?
TWA 073, New York Center, good evening.
Oh, we've got a while yet. But let's get the course sorted out. And get the radio tuned in for the VOR. We're going to have to do this the old way because we lost GPS. So 11390. This will have gone to. It's on nav mode, but we haven't got much for it. Oh, because it wouldn't have captured, of course. So let's go heading mode. So presumably there's a heading bug. Yeah, there it is. Let's do it from here. Okay, it won't come out of nav mode. You have to turn... No, it won't do it. Oh, it does. It just takes a while. Just bringing the heading bug round. No, we don't want to go that way, we want to go the other way. So what course do we actually want? We want 256 degrees. This is disaster recovery going on here.
7,000, United 324.
But we want an intercept angle to get us back, don't we?
United 324, descend and maintain 4,000, turn left, heading 120 vectors for the ILS, runway 27 right
256 will
approach.
be okay from where we are.
4,000 and left turn 120, United 324.
So let's set our course to 256 and then it will tell us where we are relative to the track, and we're pretty much on it. So 56 miles, 55 miles to run until we get to the VOR. Then we'll fly away from it. What's the range on it? 130 miles, yeah, so we can fly all the way out to Erid on it. And then we'll just be... We could ask for vectors. We'll declare a navigation problem once we get out along here, and we'll ask for vectors. Let's put this away. So Darren's saying I have an issue with my FSS 77. That's this one. Radios power off during the startup using the virtual flight engineer. Have you turned on the master switches behind you? Have you turned on all of these? And before you turn them on, you won't be able to run these up on batteries. You will have to have the APU running first and then the engines obviously before you turn all the radios on. But as soon as you've got the APU running, you've got electrical power. So you should be then good. This has been unintentionally exciting, hasn't it? So we're coming in on a slightly different course than we had planned. So we're going off to the left now, look. So if we go nav, it will use VOR navigation for us. And then we'll just go heading mode when we get down to the business end and take vectors from ATC. So there's a comment in the live stream earlier from somebody that I didn't notice at the time saying that it doesn't like all the preset key bindings from MSFS. I think what that comment means is the 2020 key bindings. Yeah, I wish they had not given people the option of doing that and just left them with the 2024 key bindings. Because if you go to the 2020 key bindings, you'll find loads of stuff doesn't work anymore. Because 2024 is not 2020. And if you go to the 2020 key bindings, you're going to lose a whole ton of functionality. As soon as you realise it's a completely new simulator, underneath and on the surface, and you don't think of it as 2020 with bells on, because it really isn't, then all of your problems go away. So we're going to start descending. We're going to have to go and have a look at this to see what our target altitude is. So do we have, so 10,000 feet at Grace is our first target. So let's go and start descending. So we're going to go and set the altimeter, or the altitude pre-selector down to 10,000 feet. And then we're going to say descend to this thing. There we go. Took a couple of presses for it to take notice. And it's coming down. So keep an eye on the airspeed. Remember, once we get to 10,000 feet, we need to get to 250 knots as well. 18,000 feet being in the US, we change barometric pressure to local. So we're only coming down at 1,000 feet a minute at the moment. Shall we improve that? If I pull the engines back further, if we go speed mode, we're almost 250 knots. So, whoa! What does it think it's doing? There we go. It's stabilising at... So we can now control, in speed mode, we'll be able to control descent rate with the throttles.
New York Center, good evening. Rux 721, flight level 250. Rex 721, New York Center, good evening.
It's doing a terrible job of it. Is it using the... I think it's using the speed bug. So what I'd have to do is re-engage it again with the speed bug moved. If that's true. Is it going to lift the nose? No. So maybe it just uses maximum speed as a datum point for it. It's a bit odd. And it's gone back to just over 1,000 feet a minute. I'm going to go for no mode and use the roller. So take the power back and use the pitch control. So we're just looking at 2,000 feet and we'll just manage the descent rate. Do we, if we increase the range, get a green banana on the display? No. not quite that advanced. But obviously we got no map now because of the GPS problem earlier, or the power problem.
TWA 073 New York Center, contact Cleveland Center on 124.325.
Contacting Cleveland Center 124.325, TWA 073, good day. Cleveland Center, TWA 073 with you, descending to 10,000 feet on the Hain Zulu 7 standard terminal arrival route into Pittsburgh.
TWA 073 Cleveland Center, good evening.
So we've overflown the VOR now. We've gone past it.
UPS 311 heavy, IFR clearance to Toronto.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
I think we can switch this out while we're in flight.
Okay,
Should we try
we're cleared to Toronto as filed. Fly direct Woozy, squawk 1576, ident UPS 311 heavy.
So at the moment we've got
and UPS 311 heavy
the EFIS instruments. If we get rid of them, it kills the autopilot. Oh, it's got the old autopilot. Awesome. So we want a VOR lock, and we want to turn the altitude hold off, and then put the autopilot back. Oh, it's got the old system down here as well. It's replaced all of it, look. We want nav lock, and we want to say altitude select, and there's the roller for the altimeter speed. That's awesome. So you can get rid of it and have the old hardware, which is quite cool, isn't it? And that gives you a basic course and heading, which is good. So we do it the old way. We tried. We really did. If it hadn't been for my idiocy of not putting enough fuel in the aeroplane, this would have been a much happier outcome. So we're racing in towards Grace at 10,000 feet. We're coming down to 26. We need to do 16,000 feet. I think we'll be okay. We can work this out, can't we? So measure from here to Grace, 70 miles. That's more than enough. There's a 3-to-1 basic rule with descending in the big jets that for every 3 miles you can descend 1,000 feet. So we'll just continue on down at 2,000 feet a minute. Yeah, I need to have a read about that E-warning to see what it was and see how you control it. But that's the thing I love about these more complicated aeroplanes, is there's more to learn, more to manage, more to factor in.
Center United 260 with you, flight level 350.
Obviously the higher the workload, the better, or the higher the satisfaction when you do things well. All this time we're poring over instruments and not having a look at this beautiful plane or the scenery outside. So we're whistling over the US and not really seeing any of it on our way to Pittsburgh. Now, was that there in the old version of the cockpit? Because that would certainly account for it being a little bit up the wall, because look at what it's reading. So that's the hardware. If it was that went up the creek, that's what's caused it all. Because this is not agreeing with that. It's massively out. There's a 2 missing off the end. Maybe it's broken, and that is what it's simulating, that it's broken it. So we need to lose another 10,000 feet. How are we doing? I think we'll be okay. So for anybody joining the flight late, we had a bit of a disaster, or I had a bit of a disaster en route. When I filled the plane up with fuel, I presumed that when you press this button, it does it all for you. It did not.
Direct to EGIOC, descent flight level 130.
1018 Tango Golf Cleveland Center, roger.
So yeah, the aeroplane ran out of fuel mid-route, which meant that we lost all power to everything. Luckily, we were able to spin the engines up before the aeroplane ripped itself to pieces. But in the process of doing that, we lost the flight management computer, which had given us our lovely GPS route. So we're back to analog instruments. So we just come down to 18,000 feet. We need to go and find out the local barometric pressure. Open airport weather 30.23 inches. See, that's made a couple of 100 feet of difference, hasn't it, in the altimeter? Okay, continuing on down. What's the elevation of the destination airport? 1,100 feet. So that puts us at 4,000 feet on the way in, but we'll have a look at the chart in a bit. So we're deviating a little bit from the route we should be on to go into the VOR. It's saying, oh, that isn't, we're measuring from behind us though, aren't we? Of course.
Kiwi 073 Cleveland Center, contact Pittsburgh, approach on 121.25.
Contacting Pittsburgh, approach 121.25, TWA 073, good day. Pittsburgh approach, TWA 073 with you on the Hain Zulu 7 approach.
TWA 073 Pittsburgh approach, good evening, Seagull altimeter 3024. Expect the ILS runway 32 approach into Pittsburgh.
Expecting the ILS 32 approach into Pittsburgh, requesting vectors.
On 13.3, butterfly 8147.
American 2664, contact Pittsburgh Tower on 128.3. TWA 073, expect the Haynes 7 arrival. Descend and maintain 4,000. Turn left heading 240, vectors to intercept the localizer for runway 32.
Turn left heading 240, descend 4,000 feet, TWA 073. So we'll change the altitude to 4,000. We said 4,000 a minute ago, didn't we? It's 4,000 feet on the altitude pre-selector. We've got altitude select armed. We should have... Is heading select not going to arm? Oh, it's because we've got this on, isn't it? So we have to go heading select, there we go. But it seemed to be doing it. So it's turning for 240. So we'll go and get the ILS ready. That isn't much of an angle. Don't reckon much to their measurements. Maybe there are. Maybe they're going to turn us left again to put a box shape in. So we want the ILS 111.30, 325 degrees on the course. So 11130. That's the VHF, that won't help us. So that's the active frequency, and then we switch the course round. Now, they moved the course knobs, didn't they? Where did they go? Oh, of course it's under here, isn't it? I'm being stupid.
Centurion 2 Foxtrot Zulu, contact Cleveland Center on 134.475.
134.475, East Centurion 2 Foxtrot Zulu.
Pittsburgh
So
departure,
we're at 10,000 feet. We need to get the speed down.
1,800 over the river.
To get below 10,000 we have to be slower than 250 knots.
Radar contact.
Oh, it's remembered the 10,000 feet from earlier. I'd forgotten it does that. So we're below 250 knots now, and we're going below 10,000 feet, so landing lights on. And we should... Do we have to toggle the altitude select to get it to register it?
Departure November 477 2000 for 4,000.
November 477, radar contact. Maintain VFR at or below 15, 15,000.
Up to 15, 15,000, November 477.
So, switching the instruments out, it's moved quite a few things around, doesn't it? It's quite clever. It's almost two cockpits. So presumably, and I'm hoping, they're going to turn us away from, because we're heading almost directly for the airport. I'm hoping they'll turn us, if we're doing runway 32, vectors to intercept the localizer. Yeah, so I imagine they'll ask us to turn again. It's coming down to 8,000 feet, 240 knots-ish. Let's go and put head tracking on. We left the passenger lights on, didn't we? The seatbelt signs. Never let them get up.
Delta 1828, contact Pittsburgh Tower on 128.3.
Tower on 23, Delta 1828. You left heading 165, Delta 1828. No, that's what you gave us, Delta 1828.
So, Cabinet's saying, which starter airliner would you recommend to migrate to from GA, the A320, every time? The A320 V2 that comes with the sim is very, very good. If you want a super accurate one, then the Phoenix is the next step up. So I need to update the document that I prepared for this with the fueling and put an asterisk next to it saying how important it is. Are they going to vector us away? You'd expect they would by now, to put us probably onto a course of 145, you would imagine. Although the wind is blowing, so it may even go 140. Let's see if they vector us or if we have to do it ourselves.
Departure, Bonanza 4 Sierra Mike 2000 for 4000.
Bonanza 4 Sierra Mike, radar contact, altitude restrictions cancelled. Maintain VFR.
Climb 1000, Bonanza 4 Sierra Mike.
Okay, let's ask them. Yeah, let's just lit up.
TWA 073, cleared Haynes 7 arrival into Pittsburgh.
Cleared Hans 7 arrival into Pittsburgh, TWA 073. Requesting vectors for runway 32.
TWA 073, descend and maintain 4000, altimeter 3024. Turn left heading 180 vectors for the visual runway 32 approach.
Turning left heading 180 for the runway 32 visual approach, 073.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have left our cruising altitude and have begun our approach to Pittsburgh. Please return to your seats, stow your tables, and fasten your seat belts. The use of lavatories is no longer permitted at this time. Thank you for your cooperation.
At least we can hear the Morse code, which you don't often get in 2024.
Bonanza 4 Sierra Mike, contact Pittsburgh departure on 121.25.
121.25, Bonanza 4 Sierra Mike.
So we're holding 4,000 feet. The barometric pressure is correct. Let's just double check that, see if it's changed since we did it earlier. 30.23, that's still correct. You can see us on the map here actually, look, versus the other route. So we're going to double back on ourselves as soon as we
Bonanza 8 Delta
get
Tango,
into a
contact
good
Allegheny
place.
Tower on 121.1.
Switching to Allegheny Tower on 121.1, heat, Bonanza 8 Delta
So it'll be
Tango.
worth looking on here to see how big our turn radius
Bonanza
was.
4 Sierra Mike 1000.
So if you imagine, if we continue
Bonanza 4
on,
Sierra Mike, radar contact.
we need to turn at about the Zupwe waypoint, turn right. Oh no, that, because the runway's there, look. So if we were to draw a line out from here, through the runway, so we're probably, yeah, just past, I'm just looking at the 250 knot radius here. So at the point we cross over, if we start to turn right, but we'll be slowing down as well anyway, but then we'll come in nice and steadily into the glide slope. so we're losing speed slowly. Let's get the throttles open. Don't want to lose any more. We could extend the flaps to the first stage. So you can see the flaps travelling over here. They're going to 5 degrees. If we look outside, we'll see that.
Departure, Centurion 2 Golf X-ray 2000 for 4000.
Centurion 2 Golf X-ray, radar contact, climb and maintain 1000.
Climb 1000, Centurion 2 Golf X-ray.
Headway 073, turn right, heading 210. West wind 3657, contact Johnstown, approach on 121.2.
Turning right, heading 210, TWA 073.
1.2, west wind 3657.
Helps if you press the right button. Turning right 210, TWA 073. So let's see if we can make sense of what they're doing. Okay, they're cutting us off so we don't go all the way down range. So it's detecting traffic. We just can't see it. Does it? Would it show it down here then?
Departure Delta 3248, 2000 for 4000.
I guess the new
radar contact, climb and maintain 11-1000.
The EFIS might have shown it, I guess.
Climb 11-1000, Delta 3248.
TWA 073, traffic at your 12 o'clock, 3 miles. Same altitude Bonanza.
Where is he? We'll be able to see him on the nav map actually if we go and turn on. Is that him? Yeah. He's 5 miles away. At least, if not 8 actually. He's going into Allegheny County though. How are we doing for speed? 200 knots still. Let's get the speed down a bit. And
TWA 073, 8 miles from the approach turn. Turn right heading 275 until established. Cleared for the visual runway 32 approach.
Turn right for the visual approach for when established 073. So yeah, it wants us to just cut the vectors basically, so let's do it. What they want us to do is come across here, look, which will be just in time. So they've done the vectors really neatly. Speeds come off perfectly.
Departure, Baron 9er, November Victor 2000 for 4000.
Baron 9er, November Victor, radar contact, altitude restrictions cancelled. Maintain VFR.
Baron 9er, November Victor.
Turn right heading 020. Descend and maintain 3000 until established on the localizer.
I need to keep an eye on it inside because we'll obviously have more drag. So I'm bringing power back up.
Contact Allegheny Tower on 121.1.
Going to 121.1. Skyhawk 08 Bravo.
Tower on 128.3, American 3241.
How do we turn the autopilot off? It was down here, wasn't it? So there's the runway. And here comes the CDI. We've gone a bit high on the glide slope, so let's just descend as well.
TWA 073, contact Pittsburgh Tower on 128.3.
Contacting Pittsburgh Tower 128.3, TWA 073. Pittsburgh Tower, TWA 073 with you on approach runway 32. Where's the line going? Oh my word, you have to be close to it. See.
Roger, runway 32 is the active runway for approach at Pittsburgh. Continue approach. 28073, Pittsburgh Tower, winds 360 at 6. Runway 32, clear to land.
Why does it not like that? Why do we have a warning? I don't know why we have the warning. We're too high and too fast and I'm distracted now. Let's just get it on the ground. Gear is down. Probably descent right near the ground was the alarm, thinking about it. It's an interesting airport, isn't it? With that gorge. Oh, look what I'm doing, really. Got to see this from outside. Yay, the reverses.
TWA 073, Pittsburgh Tower, contact ground on 121.9er.
Contacting ground 121.9er, TWA 073.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Pittsburgh International Airport. Thank you for flying with Transworld Airlines. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. Did you know that Pittsburgh is known as the Steel City due to its historical significance in the steel industry? It's also home to the famous Andy Warhol Museum, celebrating the life and work of the iconic pop artist. On behalf of Captain Jonathan, First Officer Amanda, and the entire crew, we wish you a pleasant stay in Pittsburgh.
Ground, Blackline 718, still waiting on the pushback.
Those with upcoming connections, please note the following.
Let's get the map up on the screen before we call ground.
Flight 5678 to Chicago, departing at 6:30 p.m. from Gate B2. Thank you.
Ground, TWA 073 requesting taxi to gate. They're going to send us all the way around the airport, aren't they? November, maybe, all the way around?
TWA 073, taxi to Terminal A, Gate 5 via November 3, November, Bravo, Charlie 1. Have a good day.
Taxi to gate via November 3, November, Bravo, Charlie 1. TWA 073, thank you. So, November, November 3, then Bravo, there's Bravo, and Charlie 1. So it's here. This is where they want us. So we just got to go around the houses to get there. Let's go and turn the radio off. It's going to drive us batty otherwise, isn't it?
American 1473 ready for push.
American 1473, push and start.
Push and start approved, American 1473.
Whoa. How did we get away with that?
2236. Affirmative progressive taxi instructions available. When ready, advise for step-by-step guidance.
I was just about to say how good this airport looks, and then that happened.
Ground Southwest 2236, holding short of runway 28 center.
2236, continue taxi via Foxtrot. Contact tower on 128.3 when ready for departure.
United 1129 ready for push.
1129 cleared, push and start.
Push and start approved. United 1129.
So it's over here, isn't it?
1473 ready to taxi.
American 1473, runway 28 right taxi via Victor 6, Tango Charlie Bravo 1.
Runway 28 right taxi via Victor 6, Tango Charlie Bravo 1, American 1473.
Run the truck over. Just missing.
United 1129, runway 28 left taxi via Victor 2, Tango Charlie November, hold short of runway 28 center, then Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Okay, so
Runway 28 left taxi
let's
via
see if we
Victor 2,
can
Tango
figure
Charlie
this
November,
one
hold
out.
short of runway 28 center, then Foxtrot, Foxtrot, United 1129er.
Connect ground power, and then come up here and go, we want external power on, and then external power is essential power, and then we should be able to then sit in the cockpit and shut the engines down. So if we just lower our view down, go clunk, clunk, clunk. So I'm not going to do the full shutdown because I think everybody's had enough. And we'll have a play with this though. So forward entry, let's get the view in the right place first so we can see this happen. Just trying to get the view somewhere good, there we go. So forward entry open. Very cool. And forward, oh, it's the aft stair. Boarding stairs set. And then engine covers, no we don't want those. Forward galley open. It's going to be the other side. Forward cargo, aft stairs. Of course, this has got the door in the back, hasn't it? Very good. So I presume you'd have to use the simulator radios. So if we press scroll lock, no, not print screen, scroll lock, does that still bring up the radio panel, or do we have to go in here these days? I can't remember how this works. How do you get the ATC panel up in Flight Sim 2024? I thought it was scroll lock. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to worry too much. All I was going to do was see if we could get the jet bridge to connect. So, what could we do in terms of shutting things down? We're running on external power obviously at the moment, so all we would need to do is go and remove the external power and then turn the batteries off. So we better turn a few things off in a hurry before we do that. So I'm not sure if this aeroplane has state saving. Put that back to APU for next time. Obviously all of the pumps need to be off. We've still left everything on. It's interesting, the cold and dark state had a lot of these things. I didn't mean to do that. Had a lot of these things in their open positions, which surprised me. I think that's pretty much, oh, that needs to go back to ground, doesn't it? I think that's pretty much it. Just quickly having a scan around. So then we can turn the batteries off. Oh, we didn't turn the emergency. That goes back to off, beacon light off, navigation lights off, taxi light off. Just making sure we've turned everything back to the positions we would wish to find them in. That should be closed. And then batteries off, and we, oh, that goes and closes it. I should remember that. And we're cold and dark. So if we wanted to now, we could walk out of the aeroplane. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Should we have a walk through? They're very, very 1980s colouring, isn't it? Early 1980s. That was the height of fashion back then. So presumably this will work. Awesome. We can't, though, it's got clipping on the scenery, so we can't walk down there with this camera view. We could do it with the drone camera. Do the toilets work? Oh my word. So hopefully you've enjoyed this.
Bravo, Roger, continue taxi.
This has been the Flight Sim Studios 727-200 Super. And we saw it in two guises. We saw it with the EFIS and without it. And we saw it with fuel and without fuel. And we saw a bit of a recovery going on mid-flight where we nearly killed everybody. But we recovered and got it in. And then we had almost another accident on the taxiway when a scenery aberration caused a bit of a Dukes of Hazzard moment with the aeroplane. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed that. It's a wonderful aeroplane in the simulator, as you've seen. There's loads and loads to play with in it. And once you get your head around how the different systems work, it's brilliant fun. But I think there's still a lot to learn about this system, the new... I'm going to forget the name of it again, aren't I? The GNS XLS flight management computer. There's still a lot to learn. It's quite basic. It is very, very 1980s in terms of its functionality, but it's interesting because of that, though, I think. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. That's us done for today. I'll see you all again soon. Take care.